Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Queuing Up Podcast. I'm your host, Damian Rocha Jr., and as you can see, it is just me by myself because we are continuing on with the Marvel, set preview things. And today I have a very interesting card that I had spoiled for me over on, I think it was Threads is the app I was on. But over on Threads, now, don't get me wrong, I love the internet, but I also hate the internet. I love the fact that we can get stuff spoiled for us, but at the same time, it kind of I wish I would have saw this in the wild. But hey, I'm all here for it because if I can talk about it before the set comes out, before everyone gets their speculations and everything out, before people just make or break these cards, I would like to talk about it. I like to talk about them ahead of time, so I can't get too angry. So, without further ado, we're gonna move on to today's subject, a very interesting card that I was very surprised the way that it's worded. I won't lie, I was confused when it first came out. And I also learned something cool. I forgot since I'm recording in OBS that I can actually do technically editing while I'm recording. For example, we're gonna be talking about Speedball, new warrior. Hopefully he's over here somewhere. If you can't see him, that's gonna be weird for me. But Speedball, new warrior, is a 3-drop legendary creature, human hero, 2/2. Now, he costs 2 generic, blue-red hybrid mana. What that means is you can either pay 2 generic in a blue or 2 generic in a red, as long as you have a red or blue tapped along with 2 other of any color of mana to play him. So he costs 3 altogether. He has 1 ability and 1 ability only. He has, whenever a player casts a spell that targets Speedball, he gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You may choose a new target for the spell. Yeah, I put he because it's Speedball. Speedball gets, until 2 into the end of turn. But so what this basically means, the reason I got confused is because I was thinking of this as more of a copy instead of him actually just misdirecting the spell. So let's say someone plays Path to Exile. It says exile target creature. Its controller, I think Path to Exile, its controller may search its library for a land card, right? Basic land card. So let's say, boom, you play Path to Exile. Target this guy. Target that guy right there. Speedball. He's going to see it targeting him. He gets +2/+2, becoming a 4/4. He's then now going to redirect that spell to somebody else. So he can be like, hey, you want to exile me? Nah, that sucks. You can go exile your own creature and go find your own land. You can do that if you want to. But it's very cool. I thought this was a very interesting guy, and it was very ear turning to me. What I mean by that is once I understood the card after reading it a second time and kind of actually understanding it and then talking to Rob about it too, he's actually very strong, and I'm very excited to talk more about him because it's literally just whenever a player, so whether it's you or you, me, the other 2 people we met, whoever just casts a spell that targets him, he's going to get that +2/+2, and then he can then target something else. You just choose new targets for that spell. It's super cool. It's a really cool concept. I like it because he's a Speedball. He's bouncing around. He's super quick, whatever. But I want to talk about this next portion. And this next portion I have dubbed No Hurdles. The reason I've dubbed that is because this section is going to essentially have you playing cards that make it so Speedball has no hurdles to jump over. He can just hit directly or have something else added onto him because as you see, he doesn't have flying, vigilance, haste, double strike, first strike, he has no keyword. So you might think I'll be adding things to him. I am to a degree, but here's what I'm going to be doing. So starting off with the new hurdles, we're going to be playing a card called Aqueous Form. Aqueous Form is a 1-drop enchantment aura, which means you have to enchant a creature with it because enchantments usually stay on the field, but this one you have to enchant a creature. Enchanted creature can't be blocked. Whenever a enchanted creature attacks, scry 1. So this one helps with 2 things. Red-blue is very known for being Spell Slinger, which means you're going to be instant sorcery, playing a bunch of instants and sorceries, right? To do storm count, whatever. Trigger a bunch of cards with playing each spell, whatever, copying spells, whatever. With this one specifically, the reason I picked it is because it does 2 things. 1, it makes it so Speedball is unblockable or just can't be blocked. 2, it makes it so you can scry to see the next card, so you can see if it's going to be a draw spell, if it's going to be a removal spell, if it's going to be a buff spell. You can see if it's going to be artifact, enchantment. You're just going to see what the next card is, and if you don't like it, just boop, put it right back down to where it was. And that's the really cool part because with red and blue, you can have, or mainly red. Red does have a lot of spells that let you take extra combat steps. So you can easily do this at least 2 or 3 times a turn if you have enough mana to do it, or if you copy spells that let you take an additional combat step after this. So he can attack a couple times up to, like, I think upwards of 5 is the max I've seen anyone ever do extra combat steps. But it would be really cool. Well, I guess technically infinite, but like I don't count those ones, you know. But it'd be really cool to see him be unblockable because, like I said, it's no hurdle. He doesn't have to jump over anything, go around anything. He just goes straight forward and hits people. Now, the next card that is one that I've never heard of, but I saw it and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. It is Marchesa's Smuggler. It is a 2-drop creature, human rogue 1/1. It is blue-red to cast him, which just isn't. And he is a 1/1, so he can get removed pretty easily with just about any spell that does 1 damage or more. He has 2 abilities. First one being Dethrone. Whenever this creature attacks the player with the most health, the most life, or tied for the most life, put a 1/1 counter on it. Now, I wouldn't really attack with him that much, or if at all. But obviously, there are going to be cards that can buff up, people. So with, let's say, Speedball on the field, I'm going to cast a spell that goes like, oh, target creature gets +3/+3, right? Speedball sees it. I target Speedball. He gets +2/+2. But now I'm going to go buff up Marchesa's Smuggler, making him a 4/4. Then I can attack with both. And then Dethrone will trigger because whenever this creature attacks that player with the most life or tied for the most life, put a 1/1 counter on it. Now he gets a 1/1 counter. Now he's a 2/2 for as long as he's on the field. And then he has the secondary ability, which I'm looking forward to using. So this essentially gives us the non-block, but also something else. So it costs 3, 1 generic, blue-red, 3 altogether. Target creature you control gains haste until the end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. So, if I am playing, Magic the Gathering, like everyone else is, this is a cool way to, if he's on the field and Speedball has somehow gotten off the field or is no longer on the field and you have to pay more to get him out, or if he's been returned to your hand, or if you put him back in your library for some weird reason, but if he's pounced to your hand or put back in your hand or put in the command zone, you can play him. Then you can pay 3 to give him not only haste, but he's not blockable this turn. So then you can go off again, make him really big, do what you need to. The dethrone mechanic is just nice, I guess, to have on him, because then if you make it so all the spells that buff Speedball buff him instead, because Speedball gets a built-in +2/+2 for just getting targeted, so you can just buff him up, attack, get the dethrone counter, boom, now you got that. If you take extra combat steps, like I suggested before, you can do dethrone again, which you get 2 counters. It's pretty cool. Like I said, pretty cool card. Never heard of him. Never seen him until today. I was actually looking for a different card, but I actually like this card more because it gives him unblockable and it gives haste whenever he comes out. Given it does cost 3, but I'm perfectly fine with that. It's a pretty cheap thing. It just costs 1 more than what he costs. So essentially, you're just paying for Speedball's cost again to give him haste and unblockable, which is really cool to me. But next up is a card that I didn't realize how expensive it got, and I should have bought it when I had the chance when it was like $7. I think. I have to look. I don't know if it was always $7, but it was cheap at one point. But the next card in question is Bria, Riptide Rogue. Bria is going to bring us to the end of the no hurdles section, but at the same time, I think it's a solid ending, solid way to end with this card. So, Bria, Riptide Rogue is a 4-drop legendary creature, auto rogue, 3/3, 3 power, 3 toughness. Now, Bria cost 4. 2 generic, blue-red. 4 mana across the board, right? So you can literally, it curves out great. You can, actually, all 3 of these curve out great. So you can play Marchesa's Smuggler first, Speedball second, Riptide fourth, and now you have these 3 cards set up on the board to give anything haste and unblockable, essentially. But let me keep going before I give you guys all my, strategies and such. But she has 3 abilities. First one being Prowess, which essentially is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 to end of turn. Really good. And it doesn't even have to target her. It's just whenever you play a spell, whenever you cast a spell, like a non-creature spell, so instant, sorcery, artifact, enchantment, planeswalker, I think that's all 5. As long as you just play non-creature, like it says, it gets +1/+1 to end of turn. So every turn she's going to be at least a 4/4 because you're going to want to try to play instants and sorceries or just anything non-creature wise. But her second ability, your other creatures, so other creatures you control, have Prowess. She's now giving Prowess to Speedball. So whenever you play a non-creature, he's guaranteed a +1/+1. But on top of that, if it targets him, he gets +2/+2. So by playing one Aqueous form for 1 mana and it targets him. Oh no, because Enchanted Creature isn't targeting. I don't know if that. Anyways, let's say you play, what is it? There's one called, I think it's Expedite. It's a red card. Target creature gains haste, draw a card. Target creature, Speedball. He gains haste. You draw a card. Guess what? Prowess count goes off. He's now a 3/3. His own ability goes off. +2/+2. He's now a 5/5. So, easily, it's such a good card. And then, here's the part that was even cooler. Much like Marchesa Smuggler, yes, it gives you like a cool ability, but it also gives you that unblockable as well. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. So this is another way to get your Speedball out, and especially since you're playing in blue, you can easily just counter. You can counter a lot of stuff that's going to target Bria, that's going to target Marchesa's Smuggler, it's going to target your Aqueous form, because they can't necessarily target Speedball. If they target Speedball, you can just it doesn't choose new targets for that spell, so you just can't target him essentially. But Bria is a really cool creature. The fact that it gives it another buff by just being on the field and gives all your other creatures buffs. It gives them all that prowess ability, and it's going to trigger each time you cast a non-creature spell. And then, like I said, blue and red, amazing. And, these cards are so good. I'm excited to mess around with Speedball and try to get him into a spot where I feel comfortable with him, because I know there's obviously more optimal ways to play him, and there's always going to be more optimal ways to play things. But like I said, the reason I like making these decks is because I kind of sprinkle in a little bit of fun, or a little bit of like stupid things in them, because it's very fun. It's an awesome deck. It's going to be a cool deck. I honestly think it is, because he's going to be annoying at the fact that every time you target him, like when you cast it and target him, it's going to be annoying. But I do think, now that I think about it, I think the get around with him is if someone copies a spell, if that card does not say you may cast the copy, it does target him and he will leave the field, because you're not casting the copy spell. Now, if the spell specifically words, you may cast the copy, then yes, you're now casting a new spell that's targeting Speedball, and now that spell does not target, or doesn't make him leave the field, because you're casting the copy. Whereas other ones just say target copy spell, or copy target instant or sorcery spell. It doesn't say you may cast copy. It just says copy it. So you're essentially just printing another thing of it and it's going. But that will wrap up, like I said, the no hurdles list. And these obviously are just very simple cards. You can find a lot of other enchantments, artifacts. What else? Artifacts, planeswalkers, creatures. Just basically, you can find a lot of things. Like, you can find, I think, almost any permanent type that gives it unblockable. I know Rogue's Passage is one. That's a land that is definitely going in the deck. It's literally just a land that taps for colorless, I believe. And then its other ability is for generic, tap it. And target creature can't be blocked this turn. Very simple, right? Very cool. I enjoy it very much. It's a very nice thing. I think the other one, too, there's another one that's a land that it's like a creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn, so you can activate that to target Speedball. And because he has power 2 when that ability resolves, even if you buff him up after that ability resolves, he's still unblockable because he was at 2 when that ability saw him and goes, oh, he can't be blocked this turn. Cool. Now I'm going to buff him up to a 13/13. I'm going to hit you, right? But like I said, you can obviously find other things that give him unblockable or give him some way to where his damage can't be prevented. Give him trample, give him flying, double strike, other keywords. But the ones I wanted specifically were the ones that make it so he just doesn't take damage. Like, he just goes straight at you. Like, he doesn't have to worry about blockers. But moving on to the second and final part of this episode, because like I said, I'm trying to keep it smaller for you guys because this is a shorter episode. Try to make it around to the 30 minutes, hopefully. But this next one is called Buff 'em Up. Obviously, you know what that is. You're going to buff up. These are spells that, like, buff him up. These are going to be, like, things that make him really strong, or whenever he gets to a certain power level, things are going to happen. But with these ones specifically, the first one that came to mind when I thought of a creature that buffs people up and gives them other things, this one is one that I've made a deck around, and I thought it was really cool, but I think Speedball will benefit from it being in the 99 as actually having this deck as the main commander. So, this creature's name, get it over here so I don't mess it up, is going to be Balmor, Battle Mage Captain. It is a 2-drop blue-red legendary creature, bird wizard 1/3. Got 2 abilities, first one being flying, which means you can't block it unless you have reach and for flying. And its second ability is what we're here for. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, creatures you control get +1 and gain trample to the end of turn. Now, in this game, you don't get double trample. You just get trample once. But that +1/+0 means that power if you have Balmor on the field, and then you have was it Bria? Because once again, Balmor easily is so good at what is it? Mana like curving out. Because turn 2, boom, Balmor. Cool. Turn 3, Speedball. Turn 4, you're gonna play Bria. Guess what? Turn 5, you can play 5 like small little spells targeting Speedball. So if all of them are cost 1, right? And you target Speedball all 5 times, that's going to be 5 triggers of prowess if Bria's on the field. So that's already +5 as it is. He's a 7/7. +2, +2, +2, +2, +2. That's 17. That's +17 power. Or +10. So he's 17 power off of those 2 cards. But Balmor here, because you cast those 5 instant sorceries, are going to get 5 more, right? So turn 5, you have a 22/17 creature with not only trample, but there's 5 instances of Bria triggering because they're non-creature spells, giving 5 different instances of being unblockable. You on turn 5. Now this is magical Lala Magic Land, right? If you have the lands, if you have these 3 cards in your hand, that is a guaranteed kill on somebody. Because if they have any removal that says target creature that they're casting, it doesn't target him. You're just gonna bow, gone. This is the second card we've talked about in this set that is blue-red that is absolutely just nuts. And it's gonna be so cool. I'm very much enjoying it. And it's the fact of, once again, you're playing blue-red, so you can copy spells, you can counter spells, you can copy the counter spells. So it's just like you have so much built-in protection for not only Speedball, but the other key pieces that are going to make Speedball absolutely outrageous. The Speedball essentially is just there. He's just a mirror. Like, he's like, oh, I see the reflection, but it's actually going to hit you. Like, he has like a mirror with, like, when the sunlight hits, he's going to reflect the sunlight back to you. He goes, oh, it hit the mirror, it hit me, but I'm going to bounce it back at you. So it's really cool card. Balmor has always been a card that whenever anyone asks what's a card I should throw in, like a blue-red deck or any deck that has blue-red in it, I easily say Balmor. If you want to get through, and if you're playing a lot of spells, like instant sorcery spells, play Player, because she's going to give all your creatures trample, and that's the big thing too. Because obviously, getting the +1/0 is good, because that always getting extra power is nice. But the fact that you have trample, so if you have, like, let's say a 1/1 and you play 15, you cast 15 instants and sorceries on your turn, you now have a 16/1 with trample. So even if you get blocked by a 5/5, that's still 11 damage going through, hitting directly to the player, which is over a fourth of their life, because you're playing commander usually. It's super good. She's such a good card. I absolutely love everything about her. Moving right along is an enchantment that I think I've only in my lifetime have seen played in commander maybe twice. In standard, it was pretty decent. Like, it was common. A lot of people found ways to get it out faster, which obviously is normal. But this next one is called, get it over here, because I got to get used to this now. Called Arcane Bombardment. It is a 6-drop, 4 generic red enchantment. This is something that's going to be on the field. It's a permanent that stays on the field. The reason I picked this one, because stick with me now. It's going to be a little bit of a weird, like, word soup, but I can explain why it's in the Buff 'em Up. So, Arcane Bombardment. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. Then, copy each card exiled with this enchantment. You may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana costs. Now, this card directly does not, like, you cast it or you do something and it directly targets Speedball and gives them that, or not even targets, if it just naturally, like, static ability gives your creature something. The reason why it's in here is because whenever you cast your first instant sorcery each turn, it doesn't say on each of your turns, it's each turn. So I can literally be like, oh, I'm going to counterspell your thing. Guess what? I'm going to go to my graveyard, give it a good shuffle, take a random instant or sorcery card out, right? Oh, cool. This instant sorcery, this instant here, right, says brute force, target creature gets +3/+3. I'm going to put it under Arcane Bombardment. Guess what? Then I'm going to copy every card that's with it. So if you have, like, let's say 3 spells under it that give target creature +2/+2, +3/+3, +1/+1. That is +6 power total, because you're going to cast all of them. And the secondary part is you may cast any number of the copies without paying the mana cost. This card specifically says you are casting the copies. So I am casting it. That is me casting a spell to him. I believe that's how that works because it very much words you may cast any number. So I'm casting these spells because they're copies of spells, hitting Speedball. So this is 6 power with those 3 cards. He then sees each one of those, +2, +2, +2, +2, +2. That's another 6. That's +12 for me just casting the one instant. Now that instant that's in there is in the, like, that counter. Let's say it's a counter spell. It's in the graveyard. I can now hit Arcane Bombardment again on the next turn and be like, no, it's another counter spell. Counter spell's under there. Make another thing. Oh, cool. I can now counter. Like, it's such a cool card, and it specifically says you may cast any number of spells. So I'm more than positive that's how that works, because it's whenever a player casts a spell from Speedball. So I am casting that spell. I am casting the copy of the spell. It might not work that way, but I think it works that way. So let me know in the comments. Let me know, like, wherever you're seeing this. But it is a very fun card. I very much enjoy it, and it's going to be a very big problem when it's on the field. Like, when it really hits, like, just your side of the field, it's going to have a lot of people being like, no, we got to get rid of that. And it's not only going to waste some more resources for them to get rid of Arcane Bombardment, but it's like, I'm okay with the spells being exiled and leaving and not coming back into the game, because if they use resources to get rid of Arcane Bombardment and you do like the counter spell on your turn, oh, cool. Okay, now they got the, they're like, oh, we got the first instant or sorcery out the way, so now I'm going to use my my spell to get rid of it. That's 2 cards down from their hands that you can now be like, oh, yeah, cool. Now that that's gone, and I know you guys don't have like removal or counter spells, I'm going to play my hand, and now I'm just going to kill one of you guys, right? It's very fun. I'm very much excited to see if this card works the way that I think it does. I think it does work that way because it specifically is stating you may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana cost, right? The last but not least, on the buff them up side of things, is a spell that I have that is, funny enough, in a Izzet deck, and it's very, very good in an Izzet deck, because earlier I said, actually, I know I didn't say this, but I don't really see myself using a lot of equipment with him in this deck. Not saying that, like, Izzet can't do equipment, because we just saw the Iron Man from the last episode. And if you haven't seen that episode, go check it out. Very cool, very awesome, very intuitive. But I didn't really think that Speedball would need a lot of equipment, because he has built-in +2/+2 with each spell that targets him, and it doesn't even have to be your spells. So it's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's whatever. Excuse me. But yeah, it's like, if it targets him, it's just not going to target him. So single target removal, he has it built-in protection, and on top of that, buffs himself up. So it's pretty cool. He's a pretty nice card. But the next card, the last card that I say is in every Izzet deck that I own, which is only one, is Glamdring. Because every Izzet deck that I've played is some sort of spellcaster deck, except Iron Man. Iron Man's not going to have a lot of instant sorceries, which is crazy. But Glamdring is a 2 generic, so just 2 cost, or 2 cost, 2 generic mana, legendary, artifact, equipment. It has 3 abilities. First one being, equipped creature has first strike and gets +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. So, static ability. Equipped creature gets first strike, meaning he's going to hit first. So even if you can't find your answers to targeting, or not targeting, unblockable, making Speedball so he doesn't, have to be stopped by blockers, he's going to have first strike. And if that creature is not indestructible, he's going to kill it almost every time. Because if I have 13 spells in there, he's a 2/2. So sure, he's not going to get any toughness, but he's a first striking 15/2 creature. Anything that blocks it, he's going to go bang, you're gone. Next creature, bang, you're gone. Obviously, I think if it's 2 creatures, he doesn't get first strike on both instances. He gets first strike for that first creature, and then it hits the second creature. Might die, but you have spells in your hand to protect him. You're easily going to do something to protect him there. His next ability, or the next ability of Glamdring, is whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost. Easily, just by playing this, right? I keep looking over here. I should look up here. Just by playing this and equipping it, Speedball is a 3/2. A majority of these spells that you're going to be playing to buff them up are going to cost 3 or less. So when he deals combat damage, if you have other spells such as, is it Seize the Spoils? That's 3, 2 generic, 1 red, instant. You discard 1 card. I think it's you draw 2 cards. Or no, you discard 1 card, draw a card, and then make a treasure token. You can play that for free. So not only did you get rid of a card you don't need, you get a brand new card from the top of your deck, make a treasure token, and now Speedball is just there. Like, he's like, I see you played an extra spell. But because you played that extra spell, other things on the field that have, like, whenever you cast instant or sorcery, that'll easily pop off. He's going to go wild, right? It does have Equip 3. Pretty simple. Like I said, once again, Glamdring, another 2-drop thing that just, it's so nice. So Glamdring, turn 2, turn 3 Speedball, turn 4 equip it. You have one mana open, whether it's red or blue, right? Boom. Glamdring's there. I'm gonna cast a spell that targets Speedball. Bang. He now gets that +2/+2, and let's say it's brute force again. +3/+3. Now he has +5/+5. Yep, because you target him, and then he gets a +3/+3, and he's a 2/2. Right? He's 2/2 plus that 7, or plus that 5 equals 7. With Glamdring on, he's now a 6/5. No, he's an 8/7. Then that spell goes to the graveyard because it sees it, so that's what gives it the +1/0, right? Now I'm going to hit you. Right? I'm going to hit you turn 4. You don't have a blocker. Oh, cool, I just gotta whenever you do, you may cast an instant spell from your hand. Mana value less than or equal to the damage without paying its mana. Instant or sorcery. So this is where you can get big instants and sorceries out. Because if I 7 mana from my hand, instant or sorcery, guess what? I'm gonna throw down. I forget the name of this card, but it's like I think it's a 6-drop blue card. That's like, oh, guess what? Discard your hand, which is like at this point maybe 5 cards. Draw 7 new cards. Or you just drop a card that's like, oh, draw 7 cards. Your maximum hand size doesn't exist anymore. It's just there's gonna be nice little tricks like that in this deck. Believe me, I keep looking over here. Look over here. Believe me, this deck is going to go insane with all these cards. Because like I said, let me get rid of Glamdring here. With all that being said, with Speedball just being on the field, there's going to be so many things that you can do with him. There might be decks out there that don't even have a single buff spell in them, which I don't know why you would do that, but hey. But there might be decks in there that don't have a single spell that targets him that buffs him. And I can see that being a thing because they're like, nah, I'm just going to protect him. Like, he might not even be the source of damage that takes people out because for some of you guys, all you guys at this point should know, whenever you see my face and I talk about a deck, I'm going to think of the most heinous ways to take you out. And it's usually one creature doing absolute damage. And if this had that ability, but also had something to do with equipment, I personally think that would probably be my favorite Voltron commander of all time. Don't get me wrong. If this literally said whenever a player casts a spell that targets, Speedball, if Speedball or like whatever the creature's name is that would have Speedball's ability, gets +2/+2 until the end of turn, I choose new targets for that spell. Then on top of that, it literally says something like, equipments you control have equip 0 for Speedball. I'd be like, dude, I'm beating up everyone. I'm taking everyone down in like less than 6 turns. Like, it's going to be absolutely egregious. And a big shout out, to one card specifically. It is called Chandra's Ignition. Chandra's Ignition, I believe, is a sorcery spell. Let me look that up quick. I should have had it, but you know me. I got excited and wanted to do this episode right away. It is Chandra's Ignition. Chandra's Ignition is a 5-cost sorcery. 3 generic red. Target creature you control deals deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. Get him up to just anything. If you get him up to 10 even, and then you cast Chandra's Ignition, it's going to go wild. With Glamdring on the field, right, when he was a 7/6, excuse me, he does 7 damage. You can play Chandra's Ignition from free from your hand. He's now doing 7 damage to each person on top of him doing 7 to somebody. So someone technically is taking double straight, or not technically, but is getting hit twice. 7 from him, 7 from Chandra's Ignition, and it basically wipes the board that isn't Speedball. It's so stupid. And it targets him too. So target creature you control deals damage equal. So it targets him. He's going to go up to 9, and now you're doing 9 damage to each person and each thing. Like, it's going to be so gross. This deck is going to be so much fun. And like I said, it's still the fact that it's another Izzet commander that I am talking about, right? Because, you know me, I like things that hit hard. He's going to definitely hit hard. Iron Man's going to hit hard. It's going to be stupid. I'm probably have 2 Izzet decks. Right off rip, I'm going to have 2 Izzet decks. Simply because I can and I want to. And it's going to be so much fun playing this deck. Speedball, super cool, super awesome. Give him a look, give him a shout. He's going to be great. He's going to be a fun thing to play. He's going to be an awesome thing to play. But all of that being said, I thank each and every one of you for coming out, for listening, taking the time out of your day to just give this little shorter episode a little listen, But without further ado, before I go, I keep doing this. Like I said, make sure that you guys check us out on it's Apple, it is Spotify. I guess Amazon has podcasts, but I haven't seen them. But it is the Queuing Up Podcast. Queuing Up Podcast. A very interesting name to spell out. Queuing is not, it's spelled not the way I think it would be, right? But on Tuesdays, be up on Spotify, on Apple, and then on Fridays, it'll be uploaded to my YouTube channel, therealrocha.com, YouTube/therealrocha. You'll see me. It's me and a cool like artist that made me into a Kuma with a Charizard with Dragon Ball, with a Dragon Ball prayer bead necklace. It's super cool, super dope. It was very awesome. But all things said and done, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the lobby the next time you decide to queue up.